I just saw Hoppers. I watched this on Disney Plus. I missed it in theaters. This film was way, 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 way more chaotically unhinged than I was expecting. There's actually a surprising amount of death in this film. There's a surprising amount of visuals and even references to things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I just was not expecting for a kid's film. I have to say, this is funny. This is a really funny film. Part of the humor is just how unwilling to believe that I was that Pixar would even make something like this. There's a lot of choices here made in terms of plot and visuals that I just had me baffled. I wasn't expecting it for a kid's film from Disney. This is a really fun time. The director is the guy from We Bare Bears. I only saw like a couple episodes of that on Cartoon Network when I was a teenager. I don't really remember it super well, but I think it does have kind of a similar comedy to this. So I think it's maybe a bit more understated than this film here is. The plot is kind of similar to Avatar, which the film winks and nudges at. I wouldn't say it's derivative at all. It's really just that one element of the plot that even feels similar. And I guess the environmentalist themes. This does have a bit of a unique visual identity. The humans look different than they do in most Pixar films. There's actually a bit more individuality to them. They actually feel like they're from the backgrounds that they're from. Some of them did look a little bit weird to me. I wouldn't say it was necessarily my favorite style, but I do like that Pixar is willing to actually change it up and do something a little bit different rather than just having that generic Pixar look for every film. I really like this overall. I do think the moments where it tries to pull at your heartstrings are a little bit too obvious and cliche for it to really get there. And I think the ending is a bit, honestly, probably the part where you'll have to suspend your disbelief the most, as it doesn't really feel like the characters would necessarily change their views in the way that they do so rapidly here. It's interesting to call that the unbelievable part, where we have someone implanting their mind in a robotic beaver. But I don't know, it moved too fast and it kind of lost me at the end. But I do like that this is willing to take bold swings. It's a really fun time. There's a moment in this film where they talk about they're going to call in an apex predator to do something, and I was wondering, what is the apex predator? And when I saw it, I was very satisfied. It was not something that I was expecting. It made for one of my favorite scenes in the film. There's also a reoccurring joke here. The animals have to use this AI text to speech thing that's on phones in order to communicate with the humans in the latter half of the film. There's some really fun comedy derived from that. I think the colors are really good. It's a nice, colorful film. A lot of it takes place in the forest, obviously. We're with animals, and they really do mine the mechanics of the animals to tell this story. It feels like there's a purpose as to why we're coming at it from their perspective. Obviously, it's about the environment. This film doesn't necessarily paint humans as evil or anything. I saw some people thinking that's a bad thing. I don't necessarily feel that way. I think it is important that, humans are here too. We are also part of the environment, and you shouldn't just be nihilist and say, oh, humans should die so nature can take over. That's a bit of a chronically online Redditor take that I see sometimes, and I saw people criticizing the film for not embracing that. But I would say where what it's trying to say is a pretty good message here. I just think the ending's a little bit wonky. I thought this was a really good time, a really creative time, a really fun time. I had an excellent time with it. I wish I had caught it in theaters. I was actually supposed to see this in theaters with the girl I was talking to at the time, but she ghosted me. It's whatever. That doesn't influence my review at all. I gave Hoppers a 4 out of 6.
4 out of 6.